Hey Feather Fam, it's me Elle and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing an updated version of how I make my birds chop. Before I get into today's video, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites to online stores, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform for you to build a beautiful online presence. If you're new to birds and you've never heard of chop, chop is basically just a mixture of very finely chopped vegetables along with some grains and sprouts and other things that is just a very healthy mixture for your birds to eat and gives them a lot of nutrients. Feeding your birds chop is very convenient because you don't have to go through hand chopping all these different vegetables every day, and it also gives them a much bigger variety in their diet. Chop is also very good for birds that are picky eaters and maybe don't like vegetables because that finely chopped texture kind of reminds them of seeds, and they can't really pick and choose what they like because it's all finely chopped together. They kind of have to eat all of it. I usually make my chop fresh about every 4 days and keep it in the fridge, but you can actually freeze your chop and make it last for months if you make a huge batch. Alright people, we're in the kitchen now. Alright, so we're going to start off with the vegetables. All birds need a variety of vegetables every day for good health. So you always want to have at least 2 to 3 different types of leafy greens in your chop. Right here I have some Swiss chard and baby arugula, and I'm about to go outside into my garden to harvest some lettuce. And I can do a quick little garden tour for you guys. Kermit loves to sit on the gazebo when I take him out. Got a little tour here. Vegetable garden is over there. So right here is the romaine lettuce. I'm gonna take some, and then there's also red leaf and green leaf lettuce over here. You don't want to feed your birds iceberg lettuce because it is very low in nutritional value and mostly made up of water. It can cause diarrhea in some birds, and there's just a lot of other greens that are much better in nutrition. Just gonna take some romaine. All right, this should be enough for the chop because I already have other greens. All right, just putting all the vegetables in here. So far we got chard, arugula, and romaine lettuce. So after your leafy greens, it's really good to have a very large variety of different colored vegetables because you want to get that full spectrum of nutrients for your bird. Orange vegetables are great because they provide a very high amount of vitamin A, which many birds are deficient in. I just have carrots right here, but other orange vegetables you can give your birds are butternut squash and sweet potato. Right here I have a parsnip. Bell peppers are great, most birds love them. They can have all the different colors. You can also give your birds hot peppers because birds actually don't taste the spiciness. I have a cauliflower, broccoli, and green beans, and a red cabbage. In terms of vegetables, you can pretty much give your bird anything that isn't avocados, mushrooms, onions, or tomatoes because those are toxic. Some of them are very high in water content, for example, cucumbers and celery, but you can still give them to your bird. It just doesn't provide that much nutritional value. I try to only buy organic vegetables for my birds, but I understand if you guys don't have those available. It's just best to have organic. So this is just one example of the vegetables for a bird chop, but you do want to switch up your ingredients every time you make new chops so your bird gets maximum variety. So I use a food processor to make my chop, and I highly recommend you do too if you don't already have one. It is just so much more convenient with a food processor because you can make it as fine as you want and you don't have to go through the effort of hand chopping all of these vegetables. I've got food processors in my Amazon store linked down below in the description. I highly recommend you go check out my Amazon store. It has everything you need in there. There's so many different bird products. Alright guys, it is time for an ad break. You guys know my website, elleandthebirds.com. My website is hosted by Squarespace, a powerful website and e-commerce design platform. I'm so grateful to Squarespace for sponsoring my videos and hosting my website. Squarespace empowers people to create their online web presence and launch their business or passion project. This right here is my website homepage. Squarespace provides seamless integration of all my social media. From my homepage, you can go to my YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, my recently updated Amazon store, my Teespring store, and my Elle's Avian Essentials store. In my store, you will find my Elle's Avian Essentials kits with descriptions and photos. When you're ready to purchase, simply place a kit in your shopping cart and follow the easy checkout process. Squarespace makes it amazingly easy to set up an online store with the checkout process taken care of by their powerful e-commerce capabilities. On the birdcage gallery page, you can see photos of customers' cages outfitted with my kits. Squarespace has a built-in gallery feature which made it super easy to set up my photo gallery. To build a beautiful website of your own, head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/elleandthebirds and use my discount code elleandthebirds to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. You can make the chop more or less fine based on what size bird you have by how long you blend it. Alright guys, so it looks like the vegetable part of the chop is done. It looks great. There's so many different colors and different types of vegetables in here. Alright, so now that all the vegetables are done, I'm going to be adding some cooked grains into the chop. So right here is my selection of grains. We've got some wild rice, which is always much better than white rice. Some tricolor quinoa. Oat groats, which the budgies especially love. We've got some millet, obviously a favorite, but this is going to be cooked millet. We've got barley, bulgur wheat, some farro, wheat berries. There's not that much left, but this is kamut wheat. And then here we have different colored lentils. Grains are really good to have in every bird chop because birds eat a lot of grains in the wild, especially budgies and cockatiels, and it really just helps them get interested so they eat the chop. Birds much prefer the grains al dente, so you want to cook it a little bit more than half of what it says on the package. Once all the grains are in, you just want to turn down the heat to low, and then you can cover it. So now all the grains are done, and all I need to do is mix them up with the vegetables. You always want to have more vegetables than grains so your bird actually eats the vegetables because they usually do prefer the grains. Alright, so lastly I'm going to be adding some dry stuff to the chop. This is to soak up the moisture and also give it some extra flavor and nutrition. Right here we have lots of dried herbs. This is an herb mix from Posh City Pets, I believe. This one I got from my local bird store, Parrot Stars, and this is just another mix of herbs, flowers, dried greens. This right here is a super green powder and it has lots of stuff in there. This is for extra vitamins and minerals. And then we've got some seeds like flax and chia seeds. These are really high in omega-3s. So I just added all those things in and I'm gonna mix it up. Alright guys, so the chop is done and now it's time to serve it to the birds. If you sprout seeds, you can also add sprouts into this chop, but that's gonna be the entire recipe. Hello, Ducky. Ducky, no, not the whole container. No, you're supposed to eat on your plate. I actually found her like that. Ducky, come on, go to your plate. Alright guys, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, check out my Amazon store. I recently updated it. There's so many different products for your birds. And check out my website, elleandthebirds.com, where you can find my Elle's Avian Essentials kits. And I will see you guys in my next video.